Greetings LEGO fans, and welcome to Retro LEGO, where we revisit and rank the sets in beloved LEGO themes from the past. Today, we once again return to the bona fide good guys of Aquazone with the Hydronauts. Released in 1998, these 5 sets were intended as a continuation of the original Aquanauts faction from 3 years prior, even being referred to as Aquanauts in catalogs outside the US. In the absence of the Aqua Sharks, their new enemies are the Stingrays, a group of mysterious underwater mutants bent on scouring the ocean's resources for themselves, specifically the hydrolator crystals, which remain the MacGuffin of this chapter of Aquazone. With a more militaristic edge than their forebears, the Hydronauts retain some of the Aquanauts color scheme while swapping in trans green in place of trans blue and neon orange, giving them their own distinct flair. So fire up your extractors and let's dive into Hydronauts. Taking the bottom spot is set number 6100, the Aqua Dart. This was also released as set number 1095 and titled Super Sub. Whatever you want to call it, this tiny little subaquatic speeder is a real enigma within Aquazone. While technically cataloged under the Hydronauts banner, this set feels like it's of 2 worlds, and it just so happens that those 2 worlds don't include Hydronauts at all. Instead, this feels like the perfect fusion of Aquanauts and Aqua Sharks, even down to the minifigure, who is most often referred to as the Aqua Shark Hybrid. Bearing the torso and face print of the notorious Thresher, along with the legs and face mask of Jacques Clouseau, he really is a 50-50 mix of the 2 factions. The vehicle itself also melds the dominant black of the Aqua Sharks and the more peaceful-looking yellow of the Aquanauts. While I have no idea why this set exists, it's a fascinating little addition to Aquazone lore, and it makes me think of the Meteor Monitor from Blacktron, which similarly feels like a fusion of Blacktron and Blacktron 2. Aside from its interesting mesh of factions though, there's not much else to this set, and I'd only recommend collecting it due to its perplexing nature. Coming in at number 4 is set number 6110, the Solo Sub. Originally retailing for $4, this vehicle may be tiny, but I love how it manages to give you a fully enclosed sub in such a small package. The bulk of the set is made up of 2 new elements introduced with Hydronauts, the black hull base and the octagonal canopy in trans green. To this day, the Hydronauts remain the only sub-theme to feature this element in this color. The familiar propeller housing in yellow balances out the back of the vehicle, with a trans green propeller, a Hydronauts exclusive, giving the sub its zip. In the driver's seat is the Crystal Miner, who seems to be one of the grunts of the operation. His torso print looks appropriately mechanical and futuristic, while his face print features a breathing mask, obscuring the face underneath. This, unfortunately, would be the same face print for every Hydronauts character, and the downward slants in the mask above the eyes gives the print a very angry, no-nonsense look. This might be to some people's taste, but I much prefer the individual and character-filled faces of previous factions. Where these guys really shine, though, is their awesome new helmets, replacing the original Aquazone headgear mold and introducing a brand new color, chrome blue. Only 5 elements would ever be produced in this color, and that's a real shame, as it looks amazing, and in this case pairs perfectly with the trans neon green visor. Instead of clips, this new helmet mold features studs on the back instead, allowing you to mount pretty much anything you want on it. In this set's case, a harpoon launcher is the suggested option. Just be careful walking around with your friends nearby. If you don't want to carry it around on your back, the top of the sub has a nice little place to hold it for you. This set is the ideal supplement to the larger Hydronauts offerings, providing a complete play experience on its own while expanding the play possibilities of the others. At number 3, we have set number 6150, the Crystal Detector, which also had the alternate set number of 6159. Hitting shelves at $20, this deep-sea rover is peppered with delightful surprises. Right up front, we're given a printed version of the trans-neon green octagonal canopy, really upping the style and futuristic nature of the vehicle. The miniature sub it's mounted on can be rotated 360 degrees and detached for speedier missions. The left arm of the rover is a claw for picking up precious minerals from the seafloor. But perhaps the most notable feature of the set is this suction cup extractor on its right arm. In an era where LEGO's small magnets were beginning to be phased out due to choking hazards, other solutions were being explored, and this was one of them. The 2x2 printed tiles on the top of the trans-green crystal boxes indicate where to place the suction cup for a good seal, and it certainly works, but in my opinion just doesn't quite have the same level of satisfaction those magnets offered. It's still pretty cool though, and the suction cup gun elements remain exclusive to the Hydronauts. We once again get a working compass on the top of the vessel and a nice storage area secured by an inverted trans-green canopy in the back, keeping the Bounty safe on its return journey. At the controls of the Crystal Detector is Navigator Hip Waders, a cute little reference to fly fishing gear. With a cheeky name like that, you'd expect his character to look meaningfully different from the standard Crystal Miner. But aside from inverted leg colors and a different torso print that gets mostly obscured by the helmet, they're otherwise indistinguishable, and I can't help but see that as a bit of a letdown. The Crystal Detector really hits the sweet spot of affordability, looks, and play features, and is an essential part of any Hydronauts collection. The runner-up is set number 6180, the Hydro Search Sub. Selling for $50 in 1998, this is the biggest and most feature-filled vehicle the Hydronauts had to offer. Absolutely brimming with canopies and compartments, there is so much to discover in this sub. Right off the bat, this thing really is two subs, as the entire top back portion can easily lift off and redock with the use of magnet connectors. The giant trans-green dome canopy on the smaller sub is set exclusive, and we're given two suction cup extractors this time, ready to lift, place, and rearrange the crystal boxes in whatever way you please. Underneath the docking area is another small compartment for crystal storage, giving this rig a very impressive capacity. The main vehicle features two crew compartments on either side, another brilliantly printed octagonal canopy in the front, and even some new printed hinge panels in the middle which form what I can only assume is a holding cell for a Stingray troublemaker. The troublemaker in question is one of the leaders of the Hydronauts' rival faction, Raven Ray. We'll talk more about him in the Stingrays video, but the character design on these guys is definitely some of my favorite from Aquazone. The set includes 4 minifigs in total, with a Crystal Miner and Hip Waders making comebacks, as well as the commander of the Hydronauts, Captain Hank Hydro. I'm happy to see a little more differentiation going into his character, including black arms, red gloves, and another unique torso print. But if there was one guy to give a unique face print to, it would have been him. Nevertheless, he still looks pretty awesome, as those beautiful chrome blue helmets are doing a lot of the work for all of the Hydronauts figures. The Hydro Search Sub packs in a ton of bang for the buck, and would have been the top entry would it not have been for... Number 1, set number 6199. Hydro Crystallation Station. Originally retailing for $90, this set was no small financial ask for families in 1998, equating to just about $180 in today's money. Built up on a newly printed version of the base plate we saw in the Dark Forest Fortress, it reaches an impressive height, all culminating in the set-exclusive trans-green versions of the towering canopies we'd seen in so many LEGO space bases before. This set would mark the first and only time these would be used outside of LEGO space, and the last time this mold was ever used, saying goodbye to an absolute staple of the 80s and 90s. These guys are clearly ready for intruders, because housed within the canopy is a trapdoor, ready to be sprung when unfriendly visitors make an appearance. Underneath the main enclosure is a huge prison cell, which is actually roomier than the base upstairs, suggesting that this might be more of a makeshift use case rather than its original intent. For the purposes of this story, however, it's certainly a holding cell, as this set's most explosive feature kinda needs it to be. A fellow Stingray friend, complete with his own small watercraft, is ready to bust out his comrade by placing a bomb at the cell door. By simply pulling the attached string, the door forcefully flies off, making for a dramatic escape. This is a fantastic variation on the jailbreak and bank robbery features we saw in LEGO Western, and I haven't really seen another that works quite like it. To the side of the main base, we're also given a substantial submarine as well. This one appears to have much more of a militaristic use than the other subs we've seen in this faction, as instead of crystal gathering equipment, we're instead given a harpoon gun and a mobile prison cell much in the vein of Space Police. With a clever locking mechanism to keep it in place on the sub, it can also be placed on the conveyor belt when returned to the base. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of this is, but as with all things LEGO, if it's cool, it's just cool. Let's leave it at that. The fully articulating propellers, dual cockpits, and overall design would make this a really solid entry on its own, even without the awesome base to go with it. With a smattering of sea creatures, another suction cup hose for moving cargo around, and plenty of crystals to keep the lights on, this base has a tremendous amount of storytelling potential. The whole cast of characters we've met are all included here, with the addition of Commander Manta Ray of the Stingrays, here to rescue his friend from the enemy stronghold. The Hydrocrystallation Station is a masterclass in balancing looks, play features, and drama all in one set, and it's the easy #1 pick for me in Hydronauts. But as always, what would your ranking be? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to watch more episodes by clicking on the playlist on your screen. Thank you so much to the members of the Brick Guild for making these videos possible. And until next time, stay on guard.